I was seeing you talk about, and I'd love to hear your thoughts again, about the WEF, or the party of Davos, you might say, or some sort of nexus between the Chinese and big tech and all that sort of thing, that we are being bombarded from all sorts of angles with some very, very powerful interests.
Without question, there are vested interests, in a sense, everywhere. And they get bigger as you sort of go up the tree. And some of these global organizations, I've got serious doubts about the World Health Organization, for example, and how they behaved, what level of control China has over them. I've always been very skeptical of some of these big organizations like the IMF and the World Bank. Yes, there can be some good work they do, but there's a huge amount of cost and waste and vested interests. And as for the World Economic Forum, I mean, who are they? Just who are they? Who do they think they are?
Yeah, right.
They should have. Look, we can't stop a bunch of folk meeting in some nice spot, but the idea that all of a sudden they've got this global title and they can almost at a click of a fingers and by demanding a large check, demand that the top bosses and the top politicians and leaders from around the world come to their HQ. The whole thing is just. I think it's wrong. I think that we should be very, very wary, and I would never entertain, frankly, any engagement with them. You've got to operate through the normal democratic process of a sovereign nation.
Great. So just to be absolutely clear, just to underline that, Reform UK does have no truck with the WEF, essentially.
It's just, no truck at all. Right. No truck. I just don't recognise it. Full stop.
Excellent. Great, music to my ears. I wonder if I could ask you a little bit about what we saw, talking about authoritarianism and the like, what we saw with the lockdowns. What was done there? That people were essentially put under house arrest, quarantined.
As you know, I was a lockdown skeptic. In a sense, all of us were sort of wondering what on earth's going on the first few weeks, and you could understand governments, frankly, scrabbling around at that time. But literally after week 3, I was done with it. I felt that we were heading down the wrong path, and took a lot of abuse and vitriol, including actually from some of our sort of core supporters, who said basically just rely on the experts. Well, a lot of people did rely on the experts, and regrettably, the experts have turned out to be woefully wrong in multiple areas. And we're seeing now the consequences of that, and we're all regrettably paying the price. The furlough scheme was way too generous for way too long. Surprise, surprise, if you print huge quantities of money, then you're going to get an inflation problem down the track. Surprise, surprise, if you mask children with no risk assessment as to the pros and cons, no idea that it would make any difference whatsoever to their health, for a group of people that frankly, the risk to children is absolutely infinitesimally small, except with those who may have some particular medical conditions. But masking them all up was the wrong thing to do, made no difference to the trajectory of COVID, and turns out has hindered their development, has caused them anxiety. And then regrettably, tragically, we are seeing health experts now admit that it may well be lockdowns that's led to a lack of immunity, that's led to these sad deaths we're hearing about it every day now from strep A amongst children. So very serious consequences, complete failure to recognise that they've got some of this stuff wrong, failure to learn from other countries who got it broadly right, like Sweden. And to cap it all, we've now got a long-running inquiry that's just started that I feel will be an establishment stitch-up, but we're going to keep a very close eye on it. And if we can call it out, we will.
Right, I mean, because even during the Black Death of the 14th century, occasionally small villages would be quarantined, but the idea of quarantining a nation of mostly healthy people, putting them under a type of house arrest, completely unprecedented in all of human civilization, as far as I know.
Against the pandemic planning, against the original advice of the World Health Organization. So yes, just wrong, extraordinary, and we all make mistakes. But the key to success is when you make a mistake, admit it, learn from it and try not to make the same mistake again. There's an expression in business: the first loss is the best loss. Don't pour good money after bad. And it's the same with something like this. Don't try and cover up your mistakes by continuing to make even more mistakes.
Right, no, absolutely. I remember my suspicions really were first. I really had my big suspicions about a few weeks in, when we were told that there had been tens of thousands, I think they even said hundreds of thousands of deaths in China, in Wuhan. And I thought, well, I'd like to see some images of, mass graves and things. And there weren't any. That I didn't see that. And I immediately thought, something's amiss.
No, there were lots to cause suspicion, without question. But we will keep a very close eye at Reform UK on the progress of the lockdown inquiry.
Well, one last thing on that topic. I wonder what you think about the idea that it is, of course, not really to do with public health, but was also an exercise in power or authority, that it was a type of war, apart from anything else, some sort of a war on small businesses, because they suffered massively.
I don't really, I don't buy the conspiracy theory. It's cock up, not conspiracy. And the problem with that is that if you're not prepared to admit when you've messed things up and change course, then you get into a really bad place and you just keep compounding the errors. You see it in businesses that won't admit their faults. You see it in the NHS that has a really bad bullying culture of cover up and blame, and they never admit their mistakes. So that's our view on that.